All right, we are joined by Lilly Reale and Sarah Schupansky to start today's media session here. Guys, if you could just start us off with your thoughts on tomorrow's matchup and how you guys are feeling, and then we'll open it up to questions. Lilly, do you want to start?
Sure. Yeah, I think for us, obviously, the last game was a super big win. So I think we're just trying to carry that momentum in this game and then also, figure out things that we can capitalize and clean up on. But for us, I think it's really just keeping that momentum going and putting our best foot forward into these playoffs.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this is both of our first times in an NWSL playoff experience, and being in this environment is super fun and obviously super exciting, but it also takes a lot of focus and a lot of drive, and having those experienced players around us to show us what it takes to be successful in these moments is really helpful as well.
1 second. That's what the issue is. All right. First question, Michael, go ahead.
Hi guys, thanks for your time today. Sarah, you talked about having those experienced players around you to sort of help you get through this experience. How much is having sort of a big rookie group to sort of go through this first experience together? How much has that also helped you?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge to have people in the same shoes as you to lean on and to just bounce ideas off of. And I think all of us are so supportive of each other, on and off the field. So as much as as important as it is to have all of that experience around us, having the comfort and knowing that there's people that are going through this for the first time as well, is it's just that it's very comforting and very reassuring.
I guess I'll ask a question then. We've got the unfortunate timing. There was the other semifinal that just finished, Washington
right.
won.
Yeah.
But for you guys, you think about all of the players on this team. You talk about the team, the people who won in 2023 here with Gotham, and then all the national team stars. How much have you guys relied on them to kind of show you the way through this experience?
Yeah, I think like obviously the regular season is its own beast, but I think playoffs just carries a different weight, and it really just leaves it so that, anything can happen. It's a really fresh start for every team. So I think being able to, like Sarah said, rely on players that have been through some of these experiences and the chaos of it all before, and just being able to have their guidance when you're a little bit stressed, or it's, obviously the season's long. So just being able to really lock in for these last couple weeks is challenging, but it also is that much easier when you have people around you to help out.
Sean, go ahead.
Hi, Lily. Would you be able to speak about your experiences from Hingham to UCLA, now in the NWSL, how you've set the bar high in your career and how that's guided you?
Sure. I think, yeah, obviously, growing up in Hingham was awesome. I didn't live there until high school, so definitely just like different experiences. I think being able to, grow up in the Northeast was awesome, and it's, I think, a big part of why I chose Gotham, being able to come back after UCLA, and live back on the Northeast. I think there's just a culture here that, and I've said this countless other times, but just the grit and passion and the aggressiveness that I think a lot of Northeast teams carry into their style of play. And it's something that I definitely noticed in Gotham before getting here, but being able to add to that is something that I really value. And yeah, I think obviously just now playing here has been an incredible experience, still learning a lot, but yeah, it's definitely been awesome. I don't
And
know.
then secondly, is there a piece of advice that a veteran teammate's given you, or some kind of like special motivation that's went and guided you to being a all rookie team nominee or all rookie defender nominee?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's just been like Sarah said, a lot of veterans luckily on this team that have helped us in a lot of different ways. I think, I definitely lean on different players for different things, but being able to, kind of talk through different struggles and experiences, throughout this rookie year being validated in the sense that, maybe it does feel really long at times, and I've definitely expressed that, but being able to find the consistency throughout it all and not, get too high or too low. That's definitely been something that I've heard from multiple players on this team. And yeah, it just validates you in that, sometimes it's not going to feel easier. It's not going to look pretty, but you can always get it done. So yeah.
One thing that has been a clear message this week, you pull off this huge win on the road. It wasn't an upset. It was just a good win against a good team on the road. But the conversation has been persistent this week that you've got nothing to worry about now. What have those conversations been like among the players, and do you guys feel like you've successfully been able to flip that switch, as of Monday morning? Sarah?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the regular season has prepared us for moments like this. There's so much turnaround, and being in other tournaments like CONCACAF, we're playing 3 games a week at times. So we really have to continuously flip the switch and refocus and focus on the next opponent. And I think the staff does a great job of getting us just ready for that next match. And obviously, I mean, right when the game ended last week, Rose was like, we can celebrate today, but we have another game to worry about in a couple days. We have another team that we have to come out and put our best foot forward against. So I think from the staff to the experienced players, they're just constantly motivating us and making sure that our focus is on the next task at hand, not on previous successes, as awesome as they might have been.
Yeah, I think too, even just, going from obviously regular season into playoffs now, it's really exciting when you play and beat a top opponent. But I think with that, obviously the end goal is to win a championship. It's not gonna end with just maybe bringing down the top ranked team. So I think for us, like Sarah said, just carrying that momentum and not, getting too our heads in the clouds, that sort of thing, and just staying pretty grounded and ready for the next match. I think that's definitely our biggest focus here. So everyone's locked in.
I have one more unless Michael or Sean has any. You both obviously had the experience when you mentioned earlier the CONCACAF final, semifinal, knockout stage. You and Portland are the only ones who got to experience that in season. How much do you draw on that as an experience? And obviously you played in huge games in college and all that stuff, but how much have you been able to draw on that experience to kind of guide you also right now?
Yeah, I mean, that environment was incredible to play in. I think the fans that were at that match weren't for us, which prepared us for moments like this where we might be on the road playing in these incredible stadiums with awesome fans, and they're very supportive of the other team. And that definitely prepared us for these specific moments. But I also think that the way we support each other on the field and the support we feel from the staff and the ownership and honestly all of the fans that aren't here, I think that carries us through moments like that. And obviously those big games give us a lot of like preparation for this type of thing, but I don't think that I feel like we feel as supported now as we did in those moments because of the people and coaches around us.
Yeah, I think even just going off of that, we touched upon it, but playing 3 game weeks it does get difficult at times. And I think with that also comes a lot of preparation. We can, work on different things, play different players, look at, playing different styles and seeing how that works against other opponents. So I think, all of that just leads us back to these moments where now we've had, X number of games more than the other teams that we're playing. So I think just looking at it from a experience and, being able to try out different things sort of lens, that definitely, carries through with us into the playoffs.
All right, last one, Michael, go ahead.
Two quick weather-related questions. First, was last week's game the coldest game you guys have ever played in? And then this week, sort of a complete 180 with temperatures expected in the mid 70s. Just what effect do you think the much warmer temperatures are going to have, if any, on this weekend's
Yeah.
game?
Yeah, I think it's like gorgeous here, so definitely no issues playing in this weather. And then, growing up in the Northeast, I think both of us have probably played in similar temperatures to the last game. So, wasn't anything too crazy, but definitely just a bit of an adjustment.
Yeah, I think both of us can attest to college games. You're traveling all over the country to play in all different climates, so not being too far out of that part of our careers is helpful in times like this.
Mhm.